welcome to part 6 of the HMS Valiant build-up. Got some more work done to the kit. So we've got the rear superstructure, that's almost finished. There's just a little bit more work to do on that and a little bit of tidying up to do, and then that will be practically finished. The middle superstructure, we've just got some more work to do around the top of the smokestack. We've then got the little lifeboats that need to go on there as well. They need to be painted. There's a lot of photo-etch for those as well, so they're quite fiddly to do, so they're going to take a little bit of time. The forward superstructure, we got a little bit more paint work to do with greys. There's a couple of more different shades of grey that need to go on that. We've also got the little gun emplacements there that need the guns in. We've also got a gun emplacement on there as well that needs to be done, and again on the other side. The top section of this needs to be painted in a slightly darker grey, and then we've got some more little bits that need to go on the top there, little greeblies. We've also got a couple of lifeboats that go on either side, and then as we have here with a little stack of lifeboats, we've got another couple of stacks that need to go, sort of one there and then one on the other side of that. We've also got another couple of gun emplacements that go on either side around this area, and I think there might be maybe another couple down this end, I'm not quite sure. But it's getting there. As soon as all the paintwork is finished on all of the superstructures, and I've got the little guns in on the sides down here, I will then give everything a clear coat just to bring everything down to the same hue of matte, and then I'll be able to start getting the wooden decking on. And once the wooden decking's on, we're not really going to be too far away. It's only going to be sort of maybe 3 or 4 weeks after that, hopefully, keep fingers crossed, that the model itself will be completed, and then we can turn our attention back to the seascape again and get that finished off, and then get that put in the case. So I'm going to carry on, get some more work done to the superstructures, and as soon as they're finished I will come back to you. Made some pretty good progress to the kit now. It's actually really now starting to take shape. So we've got the rear section, or the rear superstructure should I say. That's actually starting to look good. You can see the little two-tone paintwork job that we've got going on there. The mast as well has been completely painted, and it's obviously exactly the same on the other side there, and that's what it's looking like from the front end. So I'm really happy with the way that that's turned out. The only thing that needs to happen to that now is to have the matte lacquer put over the top just to seal it in and make sure everything's exactly the same hue. This is the middle structure here. This is almost complete, just needs a little bit more work done to the smokestack before it's complete, and we also need to get the little boats on, but I can do that last, that's not a problem. But we've got the dark grey crane there, and then we've also got the light grey crane there as well. One of the things that I have done is the whole of the platform there has actually been painted in the lighter grey to match in with the colour of the crane. So that's starting to look really good. And the smokestack, we've actually started to get some work done to the top of it as well. We've put a little bit of black paint on there just to help simulate some diesel soot. But once I've just got a little bit more work to do on that. Once that's done, that will also be ready for a clear coat, just to bring everything into the same hue again. And then we've got the forward superstructure. The starfish platform isn't glued in place yet because there's still a bit of work left to do to this. I've still got some painting to do, but that's starting to look pretty good now. And then we've also got the railings in there as well. You can't really see them that well unless we bring it right up close to the camera. There you go, you can see them now. But there's still a little bit of paintwork left to do on this. We've got that platform in there that needs to be painted in a darker grey. But it's starting to look pretty good. I'm quite happy with the progress on that. As soon as I've got the few other bits and pieces done to this, I can actually then get the starfish platform glued in, and then again give that a couple of coats of clear coat. This is one of the turrets. This is completely finished now. We've got the two little machine guns mounted at the top, and then we've got the photo etch barrels in place now, and they've all been painted. The only thing that's left to do to this now is just to give it a couple of clear coats, just to help seal it and protect it. So we've got two like that, and then we've got two that are like that as well. The only thing that needs to happen to this now is for the ladders to be put on the rear, and then that'll be that finished, and then we can get those clear coated as well. So I'm quite happy with the progress on this. It's shaping up quite nicely. So as I say, just need to do a little bit more work to those to get those done. But for the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some work on the hull. I've got the two-tone on the paintwork done for the hull. I just now need to go over that and clear lacquer it, and then put the wooden decking on. So since that's done, I will come back to you. So I managed to make some pretty good progress on the kit now. She really is starting to shape up. As you can see, we've got all of the wooden decks on, and we've also now got a little bit of photo etch on the front end there that just needs to be painted off. But she's starting to get there. We got the two-tone paint job down the side. So this is the stern of the ship. And then if we just take it forward, you can see there the painting that we've got there. So that's starting to look good, and this has had the two coats of matte varnish on there as well, the matte clear varnish. So that's actually starting to take shape. It's starting to look really, really good. And that's the stern there. And then if we look at the decks, you can actually see it's got proper like wooden decking on there. It really does look like proper wooden decking. And that's the same even at the front end. These bits of photo etch here, they're for the anchor chains to run along. So I just need to get those painted, and there's some other little bits and pieces that need to go in there. And there's some more photo etch that needs to go on quite a few of these little grey bits that are sticking through. As you can see, we've got the holes there for the superstructures to go in. So it's not looking too bad. One thing I did notice as well, when I was doing the wooden decks, you are left with quite a few offcuts. So I'm keeping those. And then we got the front one there as well, so there's quite a few offcuts there. But yeah, I'm keeping those. I've come up with a few good ideas on how to use these on different models. When I get around to finishing off the iced tea, I shall be using some of this on that one. And then there's a few other models that I'm going to use this on too. Not going to go into too many details at the moment, but you'll soon find out when we get there. But I'm really happy with the way that that's looking at the moment. It is really starting to come alive now. So what I'll do is I'll get all of the superstructures put on and the gun turrets, and as soon as I've done that, I'll come back to you so you can actually see roughly what it's going to start to look like once it's finished. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so what was a second or two for you was a couple of minutes for me just to arrange everything on the deck. Obviously nothing here is glued permanently into place yet. I just wanted to show you what it would look like. I've still got all of the railings to go on as well there. And that's going to be a little bit of a tricky proposition to get all of those in, but it should look pretty good, hopefully, when it's done. So if we just zoom in a little bit, we can see what it looks like. So that's what the stern of the ship is looking like. All of these little grey bits that you see, they've all got to have photo etch put onto them. We've also got the flagstaff that needs to go on the very end there as well. And then we've also got some, I think they're called castles, that go on the edges there. So that's looking quite good. And then if we just zoom in, if we can, to the rear superstructure, you'll see just there that there is a little gap, and there's also one on the other side. There are another couple of little pieces that need to go on there, but I need to paint those. I need to get those painted and then glue those directly onto the hull rather than the superstructure. This part here, which is the catapult for the aircraft, I've had to put this on. It's not actually in place at the moment, but I've had to put this on because if we just have a look there, you can see that there's a bit of a gap between the two wooden deck plates. So we've had to put that on just to help cover that up. Unfortunately, you do have that gap there. Now, I know I've got some leftover wooden decking, but because that doesn't have the decking effect on it, I can't actually use that to cover that gap up. It would stand out like a sore thumb. So unfortunately, I do have to put the catapult in there and leave it in there basically, which is a shame really, but it's a compromise that has to be made. And then if we just pan around and then also zoom out a little bit, you can see there we've got the middle superstructure. And then if we just put a little bit of white card there, hopefully, there you go, the crane stands out a little bit better now. So we've got the lighter grey crane there and the darker grey crane there as well. So that's looking quite good. We've also we've got another gun that needs to go there, and then we've also got another gun that needs to go there as well. I think it's around this point here. I'm not quite sure. Need to look at the instructions some more. But we've got a little bit more photo etch that needs to go around here for some boom arms or derricks. And then we've also got a few little bits of photo etch that need to go in around that side as well. But apart from that, it's not looking too bad. We've got a big bit of photo etch actually that needs to go down this side here, and then I do believe once that's on, we've then got some photo etch railings that need to go on there. And then if we can pan around to the front of the ship there we go. We've also got some machine guns that need to go in there. There's also a couple on the full superstructure as well. And then we've got some more castles, if that's what they're called, I think, that go there. And then there's also some more photo etch dotted around that needs to go on. And then this part of the photo etch here, I deliberately put this on first before I put the deck down because I wasn't sure how that was all going to fit in together. So this is going to actually need to be hand painted because there's no way that I'm actually spraying that with the deck down now. But I'm not too fussed if that gets a bit textured. The reason being is because these parts here are for the anchor chains. So to my mind, when the anchor chain's running down here, it's going to really start chipping and scarring the paintwork anyway. So you're going to see some sort of textured patterns coming out on these areas anyway as the chains are being used. So I think we've got another couple of castles that go on the front there as well. We've also got the railing that goes all the way down the front end there. And then we've also got another flagstaff that goes on the front. There are some more little greeblies that also need to go on there, and we've also got the chains to put in. Also need to drill some holes through these 3 points here to feed the chain through into as well. I won't be drilling massively big holes for the chains to go in. They'll be just big enough for them to fit in there snugly. But that's about where we are at the moment on the kit. She is starting to get there. I'm happy with the progress on this. Actually, I've sort of made better progress on this kit than I ever thought I would, if I'm to be honest. You know, I would roughly say that I'm most probably about 2, maybe 3 weeks ahead of schedule on this. So that's quite good. But we're not going to let up on the build on this one. We're just going to keep on hammering away at it until such time that it is finished. So the next bit for me really is just get the superstructures finished off. Get the paint on the forward superstructure sorted out. And once the paint on the forward superstructure is sorted out, and I've got that little bit of work left done on the middle superstructure there, I'll then get all of those clear coated along with the guns, and then I'll be able to start laying down the various bits of photo etch. One thing I have done, whether this will actually work out or not, I don't actually know, to be quite honest. But in for a penny, in for a pound, I say. The bits of photo etch that I need to put down on the deck, as you can see there, I've actually sprayed them whilst they're still on the tree there. We've also got the railings as well that have been painted. I just need to paint the other side of the railings. I think to my mind it's just going to be a bit easier to do it that way than it is any other way. And once the paint's dried on those properly, what I'll then do is I'll just go back in and lacquer those, and then hopefully that should just harden the paint right up enough for me to be able to handle those. But we'll soon see if that's going to work or not. I've also done the same to a couple of the parts as well for the little boats. But we'll soon see if that works. I'm not sure. It's worth the experiment to see if it does work, because you don't know about these things until you try them. It could save a lot of hassle a bit later on down the road. But that's about it for now. I'm just going to carry on and get all the other bits and pieces done to this that I need to, and as soon as I make some progress on this, I will come back to you. Well, I've got a little bit more work done to the ship. Some of this I'm not really sure whether you're going to be able to spot, actually, to be quite honest. But if we just turn the front end around and then zoom into it, hopefully you might be able to pick up what we've been doing. Okay, here we go. So some of the things that we have been doing is we've got 2 of the castles in on that side and also there. And then we've also got some little parts in there. This has actually now been painted the colour that it needs to be. And we've also started to get some of the photo etch parts in as well. So we've got that part in there. There's another part just under the gun that fits in just there. And then there's also some more photo etch parts just sort of there as well, and also around that area, and it's the same on the other side too. And we've also done the same, if we swivel the kit around, we've also done the same for the back end as well. So we've got a bit of photo etch just there, and then we've also got some photo etch, sorry, let's bring that back into camera again, there we go. So we've got some photo etch there and there, and those 3 bits there, and then it's exactly the same on the other side as well. So we've been making some progress on this. This is progress wise has slowed down again because of the photo etch that's going on, but it's getting there slowly but surely. There's a little bit more work photo etch wise to do around the decks before I eventually start to get the other bits in. I really want to try and get the front end finished up. We've got the chains that go in the front, and that will actually help to make a bit of a difference too. And there's another few photo etch bits that go in on the front as well. I'm actually struggling with those. There's a bit that goes there and also a bit that goes there, and then there's also another bit that goes around this area somewhere, and then another bit around that area. Now unfortunately on the photo etch instructions, it tells you where they need to be placed, but it doesn't tell you what you need to do with them, because the bits that I'm looking at that are on the trees are flat. They do need to be bent, but it doesn't tell you to what degree that they need to be bent, or how they actually need to sit on the kit. So I'm looking at the photo etching, or sorry, I'm looking at the main instructions, but that doesn't actually help either at all. I'm also looking at the pictures for the kit, and that doesn't help at all either. So really these photo etch instructions leave quite a bit to decide when it comes to these small bits. You know, it would just help if they was to actually put a proper picture in, really, of how it's meant to look. So a little rant over there. I've started working on the breakwater or water break that goes across the front there. I got that bent into shape. I just need to get that painted now, and there's a few other various bits and pieces that I need to get painted as well before I carry on. And then there's just a couple of other little plastic bits that need to be dotted various places around the deck as well. So as soon as I got those all those bits done, I will come back to you. And I think I'm going to call it quits on this video, because I know it's getting a little bit long. So I will catch up with you in, I believe, part 7. So until then, thanks for watching, and please do take care.